Hello, Delmarva. I'm Donna from Salisbury, here at WBOC's Historic Studio D. Delmarva Life starts right now.
Wow, good afternoon, everyone. It is Tuesday, February 28th. I'm Lisa Bryant.
I'm Jimmy Hoppa. Welcome to Delmarva Live from Historic Studio D.
And we'd like to welcome our studio audience today. Give them a round of applause.
Look at these guys.
Look at a few red hats in there today.
Yes, we do. Now, we know how rowdy you ladies can be, so try to keep it under control today, okay? We don't want to have to call in the riot police, but well. Just saying.
It's a fun show today, and yesterday we talked about Brian Spiros playing basketball today with the Harlem Globetrotters. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, there has been a change of schedule. The Globetrotters' arrival to town didn't make that possible today, so Brian is in Worcester County at the Berlin Library showing us some fun programs for children. I think he chickened out.
You think?
Yeah.
Really? All he had to do was hold his finger up. They'd start the ball
They
spinning.
start the ball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go to that tonight, though.
Yeah.
Zach and I are going to be sitting there on I think we're pretty close to the court.
Really?
So I don't know if we're going to actually get the
Watch
bucket
out for
of
that
water or
bucket.
not. Yeah. That's the biggie. That's going to be a great show tonight.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see that
Yeah, I
one.
wish they could have been on the show, but schedules prevented it.
Yep.
Well, hot topics today?
Hot, very hot topics today. Did anybody here stay up for the Daytona 500? Oh, a bunch of them did.
Wow, they did.
I didn't.
I didn't either.
I went to sleep. What was talking to Renee? She said 2 o'clock this morning.
You were
before it
probably
wrapped
back
up?
into work
I was
already.
almost to work again. Man, oh man, that was incredible. And one of the big things, a race that was scheduled for Sunday, started Monday, finally ended on Tuesday. No, actually, I guess it finally ended on Tuesday. And here was one of the biggest events from this year's Daytona 500. Look at this.
It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen.
And now, under caution, Juan Pablo Montoya has crashed and gone aflame.
Holy cow.
There was quite a bit of fire involved in the race this time around.
Yeah, he crashed into a, there we go, he crashed, you see the flames come up in this shot right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he crashed into a drying truck.
Yeah, one of the trucks set out to dry off the track. So he did actually hit the drying truck, is that right?
Yeah.
And that was what started the fire there. And quite spectacular, those flames, as everything was shut down for a little bit until they could restart the race.
And he's okay.
He's okay.
Yes.
Everybody's all right.
But it was 2.5 hours, right?
Took a little equipment damage.
Oh.
2.5 hours shut down. And one of the other most fascinating things about this race was what happened during that fire.
Yeah. Driver Brad Keselowski had his phone with him and tweeted during the break, including this picture, which is the first ever from a NASCAR driver from within his vehicle. Fox said that, yeah, he picked up like, what, over 55,000 Twitter followers during this break?
Almost immediately. Now, if you look really closely, you'll see on the right the fence. Of course, that's through his windshield, and the fire is directly in front of him. Before the 2.5 hour break was over, he picked up like 200,000 followers on Twitter as he was tweeting from his car.
As he was driving.
As he was driving. Now the good news is that was the yellow, so they weren't doing 200 miles an hour. They were only like doing 150.
It's just amazing that how much Twitter has taken over NASCAR. I was watching on Sunday when they were in the rain delay for the first day that it was supposed to happen, and that's all they talked about. All the drivers, all the announcers, all they talked about was Twitter. So it has just run rampant in NASCAR.
NASCAR is such, I guess you got to say, a family-oriented sport that everybody is so close, the drivers are so close to the fans and vice versa, that Twitter seemed to be just a natural fit for NASCAR.
Yeah.
And boy, they took advantage of it yesterday / this morning.
And Sunday.
And Sunday.
Sunday as well. So I don't know if they're going to be tweeting from their cars when they are doing 200 miles per hour. I certainly hope not.
Right.
Somebody who...
I'm sorry. Kenseth won the race, just in case you didn't know.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead,
that's right.
We were talking about the important part. Keselowski tweeting.
It did end. The race did end.
It's
not going on. Someone who is tweeting, it's Pope Benedict XVI. He's sending out one tweet a day throughout the 40 days of Lent, and anyone can sign up to follow the Pope. His Twitter handle, by the way, is Pope to You Vatican.
I love this. Monsignor Paul, and I'm not sure if I'm saying his last name right, Tighe, Ty, Secretary of the Pontifical Council for Social Communications, points out many of the key gospel ideas are readily rendered in just 140 characters. That is awesome.
So yeah, you can follow the Pope in Twitter.
Pope to You,
how about that?
Can we talk about Wicomico County?
Let's do that.
This is these guys are got a reward. I said it again. An award. It's not a reward. It's an award from the employer support of the Guard and Reserve. Rick Pollitt picked up this or received the award for the county, an above and beyond award in recognition of their extraordinary support of its employees who serve in the National Guard and Reserve. That is coming up, what time? Was that earlier this afternoon?
Yeah, I think so.
It is today, earlier this afternoon.
Yeah.
That is an awesome award. Yeah. Congratulations, Wicomico County.
It's tough when you're part of the National Guard and the Reserves and you have a job and family at home. So, yeah, that's wonderful for Wicomico.
The award was created to publicly recognize American employers providing extraordinary patriotic support and cooperation to their employees who, like the citizen warriors before them, have answered their nation's call to serve.
Awesome. I like that.
Great award.
We also want to congratulate this afternoon Caesar Rodney's Micah Height, Caleb Lemaire, and Steven Jackson, who took home titles on Saturday night from Lewis at the 2012 DIAA Individual State Wrestling Championships. This is Polytech's Kurt Bentley, who took home the title at 152 pounds. You can tell wrestling season is...
Kent County came through big, didn't they?
Yeah, they sure did. Woo.
Well done, guys.
Congratulations
well done.
to them as well.
I know I'm jumping around on you, and I apologize again. John Robinson, don't know if you guys are aware of that name. A big deal in Salisbury has been there's been no place for skateboarders to go, and John Robinson has been looking at a couple of pieces of property, wanting to develop it into a skate park in Wicomico County. Well, lo and behold, they finally decided, if you look really close, there on the left, one of the guys standing there is John Robinson, and I think that's his son right there.
Yeah. Wow.
They have decided on this particular park, 30,000 square feet. It's going to be set up inside this, inside the building that's already on this piece of property. It was the former home of Apria, A-P-R-I, Apria Healthcare.
Yeah.
They moved on to Naylor Mill Road, and his son, don't go anywhere, David, his son David is going to design the park. So congratulations on that.
Yeah.
That should be up and running hopefully soon. As soon as it's settled, after March 13th, he says he's going to move in, start to work, get that thing built.
He owns a skate shop, and they also they've been trying to get a skateboard park in the area forever because there's no place you can legally skate. And a lot of people, I don't know, I feel like the kids who skate kind of get a bad rap. They think that they're bad and they're, hoodlums running around and everything. They just want to skate.
They just want to skate.
So he's getting this together so that the kids have a place to go skate safely.
Look forward to hearing about that.
Yeah.
That's going to be great. The Dover Bridge, Talbot, Caroline counties. You guys cross that bridge? It's the old bridge, got the drawbridge and everything.
Yeah.
I've crossed it a few times. I'll be honest, it may be a little jittery a couple times. There was a wreck over the weekend, and they have inspectors. They went out today between 10 and 2 to take a look at the bridge just to make sure it was structurally okay. Sorry. They were not beginning the construction. We were hoping we were going to be able to tell you they finally started working on it. They haven't. They just had the inspectors looking at it to see what kind of shape it was in. Money's already been set aside to redo that bridge.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
That is a huge deal if you're needing to get between those two counties. So hopefully soon they'll get started on it.
Yeah. Oh, it's a beginning. It's the start.
Yep.
It sure is.
Always a good thing. Well, also, there's a fascinating story. I saw this in the News Journal out of Wilmington about Captain Ed Farley, About 10 years ago, he went to a lumberyard and he picked out a really tall pine to be the mast of his ship. Now, this picture was taken from Redden State Forest, just north of Georgetown. He drove from St. Michael's, where he moors the H.M. Kretz, to pick out another mast. Out of 9,500 acres, he finally found a loblolly pine that he paid $300 for, and this is them cutting it down, and I think they finally counted the rings about 78 years old.
Wow.
And how they have to whittle that thing down to be as straight as possible is absolutely fascinating, because even though it's the straightest one in the forest, it's not as straight as it looks. So they have to trim it down by hand to get it in between the specifics for what they want to do with that ship. So,
oh, wow.
That was amazing. Did you hear about the couple from Pocomo?
Oh my goodness, yes I did. The 90-year-old couple that they were missing, or at least everyone thought they were missing for a couple days. There they are. This is Merton Calger and Virginia Hooper. They're from Pocomoke, both in their 90s. They hadn't been heard from.
They packed up the car. We're going to Florida, and they were out.
And they were out.
And they were gone. And nobody heard from them.
And they don't have cell phones.
And they don't have cell phones. What do we need cell phones for? We don't need cell phones. And Merton and Merton and Virginia drove to Florida, and none of their friends or family had heard from them since they'd left several days before. So they called state police. We don't know where they are. Can you please look for them? Can you put out an alert for them? And they did. And they said, guys, we're down here. We just didn't bother to call anybody.
Yeah, they just went on a little trip.
We just went on a little trip. We're just taking our time. Everything's all right. They're fine. So just to let you know, in case you're worried about it, they were fine. They just packed up the car and went.
They don't know what the big deal is,
we're going.
I'm sure.
See ya.
Yeah.
Not in a hurry.
Hey, not too long ago, we were talking about Paula Deen and how her diagnosis of diabetes kind of got into the headlines and everything. And she said, I'm not changing the way I eat. So there's a little bit of controversy over that. Well, it turns out she did change the way she is eating. She's dropped 2 pant sizes.
Oh, look at her.
Look at her. 65 years old. She tells People magazine her new healthier regimen includes walking 30 minutes every day and now having portions half the size of those she used to eat. I don't know if she's cutting down on the butter or not, but...
And she's lost 2 sizes.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's good for her.
You know, that's what we all ought to be doing anyway. I happen to know somebody for sure that ought to be doing that.
Not mention any names.
Talk about that part. Rubik's Cube. Did you have a Rubik's Cube when you were growing up? Who had a Rubik's Cube when you were growing up? Did you have one? A little puzzle that you have to turn. It's a cube. It's got different colors.
Never figured it out. I could do one side.
I could do it every time. It took me a little while to get the stickers off.
I knew you were going to say that.
But then put them back on again. We wanted to show you this guy. His name is Marcel Endre. He is actually from Hungary. Can we go ahead and roll that video? I want to show you. Now, look, he's got a blindfold over his head. He's looking at the Rubik's Cube. He's just looking at it. That's all. He's not manipulating it. He's going to put it down and put his hands on the timer on the table. Pull the blindfold down. Here a lady holds a piece of paper over the Rubik's Cube so he cannot in any way see what he's doing as he begins manipulating the Rubik's Cube. He is doing this from memory. He cannot see his hands. He cannot see the puzzle. He puts it down, completed, slaps the timer, 28.8 seconds. He solved that puzzle from memory.
Yeah.
That's a new world record.
That has to be.
Now, I don't know where you put that on your resume.
Other interests. Other information.
There's got to be a place.
I think I would just go to the job interview and just do that. Oh, yeah, here's one other thing.
That's fine.
Hey, the first winged roller coaster built on British soil has begun. They've begun testing it. The ride apparently is so violent that they had to use test dummies to.
Just safety test, just to check it out.
Let's do it. Look how they came back.
If you look carefully, the riders, the dummies, representing the riders, on the far right and on the far left, do you see anything missing?
Their legs.
Their legs are gone. They ran a couple test rides and realized this thing's like pulling arms and legs off. Maybe we should hire an Air Force guy just to get a second opinion. It doesn't really go that fast. It's only like 62 miles an hour.
Really?
But because the way it's built, apparently you just kind of flop around and...
I hope that wasn't a last-minute idea. You know, hang on, let's test it with dummies.
It's already been built. They're looking to open the ride in England, and they decided to put some dummies on it just to make... Aren't you so glad?
I love roller coasters, but I don't think I'll be riding that one.
Not that much. Up next on Delmarva Life.
Runners, on your mark. It's almost time for the Tim Kennard River Run and Walk. How you can take part in the fun this weekend while lending a hand where it's needed most. Delmarva Life, life at its best here on Delmarva.
Delmarva Life is brought to you by Sussex County Federal Credit Union, guiding you to your financial future, and Peninsula Regional Medical Center, honored to serve the entire Delmarva Peninsula since 1897.